is Rani Mukerji. Keep reading Midday.
So that's Gulam with Amir Khan, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai with Shah Rukh. These two guys you work with, but I think the Khan that you worked with most would be Salman. Would that be correct?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Now, I mean, of course, you are right at the thick of things yourself. Those guys are still ruling the roost, as it were.
Absolutely.
52 years old.
Yeah.
Through stories, can you tell me what is it that made them where they are?
You know, when I did a film with them, that time, you know, Shah Rukh's DDLJ had just happened.
Okay.
You know, so Shah Rukh was the new Raj, and that whole thing about Raj was happening. Amir, of course, had just finished Rangila, I think.
Okay.
So, you know, it was that space. So 97 is when I worked with them. So yeah, it was those two films which I had seen also myself, and they were huge stars. And I was like, I still tell Amir this, that as a kid I was Amir's fan, because Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak is one of my favorite films.
When female leads come up and say, as a kid,
why should it be? Why should it be embarrassing?
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, because Amir has seen me as a kid.
Okay.
Amir has seen me, like, because in Filmalia, when he was shooting for Love, Love, Love with Juhi Chawla, I was there at the shoot, and I reminded Amir during Gulam that, you know, Amir, do you remember? I was this baby, I came up to you and I asked for an autograph, and you were doing this action scene and you just looked at me like that, took my autograph book and you just signed it like that. And I was like, I was heartbroken. I was like, Amir Khan, and I remember in my diary I had written, dearest Amir with a heart. For him to sign on that, and I'd kept it. And it so happened that on the sets of Gulam I showed him, because he said, it's impossible, I can never be rude to my fans. I love my fans and I'm always so nice to them. And I'm like, no, you were not nice to me. I remember you were so into your action sequence that you just gave me this look, you just gave me this autograph and you just sent me off. He's like, show me the book, show me if you have it. And I actually went and showed it to him, and he was in shock. He was in shock, and I told him, I said, Juhi was very sweet to me, because Juhi was very cute. She said, oh, hi, what's your name? And you know, she really signed the autograph book really well. And in fact, a lot of them, like Shriji, Juhi, Amir, they all actually remember me as that kid.
Really?
Who came and took the autograph.
You know, you weren't like a random fan who just showed up, right?
No, obviously.
Because they were shooting in Filmalia.
Yeah.
They were
Like and also because Sridevi also worked in Kajal's dad's film Patthar Ki Insaan.
Okay.
So I remember, you know, from school I used to go in my school uniform with my school bag, and I used to go and just watch her. And you know, like there used to be this whole kind of thing that used to happen where now she's gone for lunch. So there'll be 2 hours, nobody can go and disturb her. Then after 2 hours, then she'll descend from the makeup van and everybody used to wait for her.
Aura, right?
She had that aura, and then when she used to walk onto set, it was like everybody was on their toes. So I've seen all that, you know, so I like, compared to that time, like today is like really, it's like really nothing.
Like in terms of stardom, in terms of
I guess
the aura and the mystique.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What, yeah?
Yeah, there's no mystique.
So,
like, you can just pass by somebody and you wouldn't know actually.
And also they're very accessible.
Everybody's very accessible.
Their lives are out there on a daily basis or an hourly basis.
Yeah. Hourly, no, I think minute.
Minute, yeah. You think that kills stardom at some level when you're just out there?
No, not really. No? I think you have to go with the times. You have to move forward with the times. And I believe that whatever happens, it's taking you a step further. Right. You know, so if at that time things were different, it was because that time it required it to be like that. And in today's time, you require to be on social media, you require to be a certain way, because that's what it is today. You know, youngsters are on the phone all the time. You know, there is a huge influx of social media everywhere. Right. And you have a popularity single-handedly just because you're on social media. You know, you are actually, your stardom is measured by the amount of followers you have. So it's a different scenario altogether today, you know. So I guess you have to accept, adapt and move forward. You don't have to conform to it because you have to do it because that's what's happening. Right. But you cannot be so stupid and say that, oh, this is happening but I don't believe in it. No. You choose not to do it, that's a separate thing.
That's a call you take.
That's a call you take.
This is a call you've taken.
That's a call I've taken, and that's a very individualistic choice that I've taken. But I definitely feel that if I was a little more savvy, if I was more comfortable, I would definitely be on it. Unfortunately, I'm married to a person who, as you said, is invisible. I can't post his pictures because they won't actually come on the photograph. You see, you'll have to just watch it with infrared glasses. And so I can't post his pictures. I can't post a picture with anyone I'm holding. They would say, who is she holding? Because you can't actually see him. And of course, then I can't even post pictures of my daughter.
Do that. That should be your first post, like sitting with the husband. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just holding somebody's hand. Oh, you don't know. It's actually him.
Going back to your career, actually, and I also want you to recount a story about Shah Rukh, Salman, and Amir.
Yeah, coming to them actually, as you said that, what makes you think.
Is there a story that sort of defines
Yeah, so I'll say that at that time when I joined, they were huge stars even then.
Right.
Of course, they were like huge. Imagine Shah Rukh after Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, Amir after Rangila, and Salman, I think, after that film of Hum Saath Saath Hai, if I'm not mistaken. So they all are like...
Which was your first film with Salman?
Hello, Brother.
Right.
Hello, brother. I'm sure you mustn't have given a good review.
Loved it.
Yeah. Don't say that. It's not good for your reputation. You better not say that.
Even they won't say it.
No, so I had a lot of time shooting Hello, Brother. I think working with the Khan family is one of the greatest memories I've had, because they were so full of love, that whole family. And we just made that film with so much of happiness that we all enjoyed the film, and everybody was just quite shocked that it did well.
It did well?
No, I don't think it did that well. Because I think the conclusion that everybody derives now after 25 years or 24 years is that probably because they shouldn't have killed Salman, they should have killed Arbaz. So anyway. No, I think Arbaz also will agree. I hope so. So anyway, so I've got lovely memories of that. But coming back to working with them, what I actually observed working with, especially Amir and Shah Rukh, because they were the first people who interacted with right after my first film.
Right.
So what I saw is that they were so on top of everything, like their dedication, their sincerity, like, coming on time, things like, not making anybody wait, coming on time for the shoot, really, taking extra efforts to make sure that every shot is like perfect, working on the takes and this. And I was just wondering that, oh my God, after so much success, because see, for me, I was seeing it for the first time. I had no idea of what a successful person or a successful actor is like, what would be their way of working. But what I realized is, to be on top, you have to work doubly hard. It doesn't come easy. You have to work really hard to actually maintain the position where you're in. Right. And that kind of made me choose a working path in my life where I also believe the same, that the last film is your last film. The film that you're working on, you have to give your whole and soul and your 100% to it. There is no shortcut.
Right.
You can't take your films lightly. You can't take any frame lightly. Like, even if it's a shot that you're giving a cue to an actor, you have to do that really well. Even if this much of your face is coming on screen, you have to just bloody well know that you have to give this your everything.
Right.
So, those are the things that I watched them do. And in a way, what I didn't learn in an acting class, I actually learned through my way doing the films that I did.
Right.
So whether it was working with, say, a Kamal Hassan in like Hey Ram, where I learned a lot, whether it was working with, say, Mani Ratnam on Yuva, whether it was working with Ketan Mehta, whether it was working with Sanjay Leela Bansali, whether it was working with Mr. Yash Chopra, whether it was working with Shah Rukh, Salman, Amir, Anil Kapoor, Mr. Bachchan, I have actually learned every day of my career. So for me, my learning still hasn't stopped. Like today, when I do a film like Hichki, I learn from the actors who I'm working with, who are the younger stars, just to observe their body language, how are they saying their lines, how candid they are, what are they doing. So for an actor, I don't think the learning ever stops. It's a process. Like I would say I'm still in the learning process. And with each film, something new I learn from somewhere, whether it's from my director, whether it's from, say, my story writer, whether it's just the PR people. Right. I'm just giving you random things
people that you see around you.
People that are working with me, I am learning with them. You know, like if somebody tells me that, you know, Rani, we would really like to give you an award for your contribution to cinema, I just feel that there is no contribution yet. I'm still contributing. You know, it's still not over, and my journey is still on. And with each film, I'm a different person myself, because I'm being another human being on screen for that many hours. I'm shooting a film where I completely immerse myself into a character who I am also knowing as a person, you know, and I'm playing the person. I'm discovering that person on screen, and I'm trying to make that person look as believable, as real as I could make her. You know, so for me, every day is a learning process. And for me, it started with, of course, Shah Rukh, Amir.
Right. I mean, in a way, also it started with like ground zero for you, right?
Yes.
I mean, the fact that you went to an acting school, but you didn't have time to even finish that particular course. And
I actually just observed. I've just, in my life, what I do is I only observe. And when like somebody tells me that, how do you do it? And I'm like, you know, for me, sometimes it could be very embarrassing for a person who knows me. That person could catch me staring, you know, and that's my job, you know, like my husband finds it really very, very irritating that when we go to a restaurant or when we go like abroad.
What are you saying?
Of course we go.
In Bombay?
Why should I tell you where we go? That's strictly prohibited talking on this channel.
That restaurant must
Midday.
be inside your house.
No. So anyway, it could be my kitchen restaurant. You never know. Or the cafeteria at Yash Raj.
Yeah, cafeteria at Yash Raj.
No, jokes apart. I think, you know, sometimes he says, it's so rude, why are you staring at that person? And I keep telling him, it's my job, I have to stare. You know, that's where I get my inspiration for my new character from. Like, I could be staring at somebody who's just traveling with me randomly in the flight or on the train, or just walking around.
Of all the memorable roles that you've done, can you put a person to that role? Like, you saw this person and it's very similar, like say, I mean, the girl in Yuva, for instance. Right. Did you derive that from someone you knew?
Of course, of course. There were so many of my house helps that came from that area where they were from the social strata, which was the lower income strata. And I've seen them work in my house. And I've seen the way they used to chat with my mom, you know, in their free time, that, you know, this is what happened to me, my husband beat me up, or, you know, he's an alcoholic. And you keep hearing those stories. And I've seen their body language, I've seen how they talk, I've seen their conversations.
I mean,
now that's something,
that's an iconic scene from
Yuva.
I mean, you just got it like as you are that person. It seemed like a lived experience.
No, but I think that's what happens with me. I think there are certain things that just get stuck in my brain. Like, I could have seen a person probably in, like, you know, while I'm shopping in Milan. I could be just seeing a passerby go, or a person who's, you know, having a conversation, having coffee next to me in a cafe. Like, there are certain things that just get stuck in my brain, and when I'm prepping for my new film, or when I'm prepping for a new character, things just come to me. So when I'm reading a role, or when I'm, you know, performing a certain scene, somewhere something comes to me where I feel, okay, I can...
taking notes, you're absorbing it, and it just comes out at some point or the other.
Something which is like interesting for me to watch.
But was there any particular role that you really like? I know.
Like for me, I think Mayank, I don't know, when you review films, I don't know whether you actually, you know, really notice the body language of an actor. And for me, body language for an actor is truly, truly important, because the body language differentiates your character from the other character that you've played.
Sure.
So for me, body language is of extreme importance when I play a role. You know, whether it's my walk, whether it's the way I use my hands, or whether it's the way I say my lines, or the way I'm actually just the way I'm talking. In each film, I try to change that. Now, I don't know how many people notice it, but like, you know, Javed uncle always tells me that whenever he meets me, he says, you know, you're the only actor who I know who can really make good use of your hands. You know, a lot of time actors don't know what to do with their hands.
That's a sign of a bad actor, right? They don't know what to do with their hands. I mean, a lot of ham actors...
I don't know about that. I should not make any comments on bad acting.
No, I mean,
because I would have done bad acting some point. But that's a compliment that Javed uncle has given me.
Right.
Like, in a way, he says, you know, you're the only actor who I see that you use your hands pretty well. And I'm like, really? Okay, thank you. So, yeah.
So you consciously sit down and give yourself certain mannerism for every part that you play. It's a very conscious effort.
Yeah, hopefully it comes across.
I'm sure it does, because you have been very different in a lot of your films, right? And we'll touch upon a few that we've briefly touched on.
Yuva.
Yuva, of course.
Yeah.
But you've said somewhere in the past that the film that really changed it for you was Hey Ram.
Yeah.
In terms of your performance, in terms of how you approach a role. How is that? Why is that?
I think when I did Hey Ram, like I remember, the kind of respect I have for Kamal Haasan as a performer is immense. You know, just seeing his work on screen was like you know, Kamal Haasan is.
Is it the Amir Khan of South India? Would that be a correct analogy?
You know, I wouldn't say that, because I'm sure Amir is who Amir is and Kamalji is who.
Both. Is there anything common between them?
You know, they both are great actors. Sure. They both are just fabulous, fantastic, great actors, you know, and I love working with both of them. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed my time working on Hey Ram, and I thoroughly enjoy working with Amir because A, of course, he's my friend, and also because I love him as an actor, and I've always loved him in that sense, you know. Even as a kid, for me, I was an Amir Khan fan, you know, so I just love working with Amir. But yeah, so when I did Hey Ram and when I went to Chennai for the shoot, I was doing films in Bombay, which were the glamorous roles. So it was expected out of me to, you know, look good all the time, put makeup, you know, wear heels, because, you know, you can't really have a short heroine. You know, like the height becomes an issue. And of course...
heroes are not that tall anyway, no?
Yeah, I got lucky with that. But generally what they expect out of an actress is that she should be fair, she should, you know, be tall, she should have the greatest body that God could ever,
I mean, you've actually
make.
broken every stereotype there is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying at that time...
Yeah, but that's what you were doing.
That's what I was trying to probably do, and wear like 4 or 5 inches heel to look taller, you know. Like, I remember dancing with those 5 inches heels to make sure that I don't look short. And there I go to Chennai, and my first day of the shoot, and it was just like, I think I've come closest to a Hollywood kind of shoot there, because there was a room for makeup and hair, and it was not like a fancy one room given to a special star. It was like a like you know, everybody could get ready, but it was a separate cabin for me, and there were all these pictures of the hair continuity and things, you know, stuck that, you know, this is the way it needs to be. And of course there was a bell that was rung at 6 o'clock when the shoot is supposed to start, so you're supposed to report at 5 o'clock. So there was a time given, there was a call time given, which was unheard of back then. Sure. So there was a call time given where it was written that, you know, 5 o'clock, no, 4:30 the car will pick you up from the hotel in the morning, and you will reach location at 5 a.m. and it was all like written. And 5:10 you start your makeup, 5:30 your makeup gets done, 5:30 to 5:45 hair, 5:45 to 5:55 was wardrobe, and 5 minutes to walk to set, and 6 o'clock you shoot. 6 o'clock is call time, is roll time. So I have looked at that page for the first day, and I have just... How will
Govinda ever follow this?
So I was like, okay, I shall be there reporting, because I was very sincere. Like 4:30 means 4:30. Okay, great, I'll be there. So I have obviously gotten ready according to the way I thought I was supposed to get ready. And I walk into set, and Kamalji and the DOP, KV Anand, they both are standing. And Kamalji looks at me and says, Aparna, and then he just looks at me, he says, what have you done? So I'm like, what have I done? So he says, what is on your face? So I said, what? Is there something on my face? So he says, no, why have you put makeup? So I'm like, why have I put makeup means I'm supposed to put makeup, na?
Bola na 5 minutes makeup ke liye.
So I said, makeup? So he said, okay, do one thing, go wash your face and come. So I have got a shock when Kamal Haasan has told me this. He said, go and wash your face and come. And I was like, seriously? I thought he was joking, na? First day they're pulling my leg or something. I said, no sir, it takes too much time to redo the makeup. I can't now, you know, let's shoot. Because I have to take a flight back in the evening and go. I was shooting for Man, that Kali Nagin song I was shooting. So I was in Chennai in the morning doing Hey Ram, and evening catching a flight back to Bombay, and all night shooting for Kali Nagin. So that's what I was doing. So I said, sir, please, let's just start shooting. He said, no, I want you to go and wash your face. So I said, okay. Now, you know how we all are over smart, no? That we think that we're really smart, you know, and especially actors. So I said, okay, I'll just go and I'll just like dab my makeup a bit, reduce my lipstick, and go on set and say I've removed my makeup. So I came back. I said, sir.
The no makeup look.
Yeah, the no makeup look. So I came back. I said, sir, done? So he's like, no, I told you wash your face. So I said, sir, but wash your face means I'll actually wash my face. He says, yeah. Like in pack-up time, how do you remove it with oil? Right. Wash your entire face and come. So I was like, seriously, sir? He says, yeah, go. I went, I washed my face clean. I had nothing now on my face. I walked back on set. And I was like, now, sir? He's like, I can see my Aparna now. And I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Then he calls the makeup artist, come here. Then he tells the makeup artist, acha usko bindi lagao. Then they put a bindi. Then he said, then he took the kajal from his hand. Okay, then he put little kajal. I said, okay, he's putting some makeup. Now you're ready. So I said, but sir, what about everything else? He said, you are looking fine. Leave the rest to the cameraman. He will do his job. So I was like, okay. And he said, listen, Rani, I'm not tall. You have to be tall with your achievements. There's nothing like short and tall. He said, what are you wearing? I was wearing those, that time there's this fashion to wear platform chappals, platform heels, which were like chappals. He said, remove that, wear flats. I said, sir, but it'll be really very short. He says, it's okay. I said, I want you to wear chappals. I said, wear your chappals and give the shot. I said, okay. So I removed that. So it was like, I actually undid everything that I was learning. So he just made me unlearn everything that I'd learned. That makeup, that, trying to be tall. He said nothing. Just wear chappals, no makeup. And when I actually see myself in Heram, I think I look really good without the makeup.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
And I said that it's okay to be without makeup. You won't look like people won't run away from the theatres. Ah, kya dekh liya? Aisa nahi hoga. So at least that was okay. And then of course I carried forth that with the films that I could try that with. So in Satya again, thankfully, of course, Shad was also Manisha's assistant, so he understood where I came from, and he also agreed with the fact that I wouldn't put makeup in Satya. So I did the same in Satya, where it was really minimalistic, and I had, of course, Anil Mehta to shoot me. So you actually depend on the cameraman to actually do the works. And then I did so many other films without makeup, and I confidently did it without having the fear that I can look trash, which was not heard of that time, because everybody was, busy dolling themselves up. And then I did the same in black. I remember in my black shooting, because my eyes are the way they are. Sanjay said, Rani, you're playing blind. You can't have these eyes. I need your eyes to be dead. So we said, what do we do? He said, just we'll have to give you lenses, black, completely dead lenses so that your eyes don't talk. Because I can't have you speaking from your eyes.
Right, never thought of it that way.
Yeah, so I remember, I used to just put my lens and I used to scrub my face with tomato every day in the morning before the shoot, because tomato just gives you that freshness.
Does it?
Because so.
Okay, guys, there's no freshness.
It's the most natural. So I used to
the
do.
The sales of tomatoes are going to go up tomorrow.
Come on, chalo, tomato kharido, sab log. So I used to just scrub tomatoes, put my lenses, and I was shooting for black. So there were so many films that I did confidently. And I could do, even in Yuva, I had the confidence. Right. Thank God Manisha didn't have to tell me to wash my face, because I already washed my face and I went. Anyway. Yeah, so I just washed my face and I was...
You brought up black, and we have a question for you from Ranbir Kapoor.
Ranbir Kapoor.
Ranbir Kapoor.
Okay.
And he asked me to ask you if you remember the first time
he was the AD on
you faced the camera with him.
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
Yes, so it was basically we were in Simla. And he was assisting Sanjay, of course. And we didn't have Mr. Bachchan's dates. So we shot it, we started with the scene where it's also the first scene in the film. Okay. Where me and
the first scene in the film you shot with Ranbir Kapoor.
Not with him exactly, but it was the first scene in the film.
Sure.
Okay? Yeah. So we were shooting
in the film is the first scene, right?
In the film is the first scene. Also in Simla, it was the first day of the shoot. So it's basically me and Nandana coming in from in the car towards the house, and then I open. And then I kind of sense that I can feel Mr. Bachchan around, and I see somebody wearing black sitting by the fountain, and that's when I realize that it's Mr. Bachchan, and I take him in, so it was that scene. So obviously Mr. Bachchan wasn't there, so they made Ranbir actually wear the cap and the thing and sit over there at the fountain. So I remember...
very excited, he said, because you were going to jump in.
Because what happened is, I obviously do a lot of mischief on this, as you know. People who know me, they know that I do a lot of mischief, because I like the atmosphere to be very happy, and we can't take each other too seriously.
It's also a 90s thing, na? Back in the day, everyone used to do that.
Yeah, I think it just makes everybody feel more
A group maybe?
Not a group, but I would say that, you know, because we are actually taking on so much emotionally, as in we are playing different characters, we're just so much into it, and especially Black.
Right.
Like if you see the making of Black, you'll only see me dancing.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm dancing, I'm just making some face.
You need to constantly unwind.
Yeah, I'm making Sanjay laugh just before, like, you know, Sanjay, if you do an interview with Sanjay, he'll tell you that I was laughing till he used to say, Rani, action. Because he was like, yeah, so he says, Rani, what do I do? Like, what are you doing? And he was having fun. So we used to laugh and he used to be like, okay, now let's do the scene. So I remember I walked up to the fountain and then because of course Ranbir was there, I just jumped on him and I threw him down from the fountain. So Ranbir was all on the grass.
Is there any footage?
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
This will be amazing. It's a great trivia.
Yeah. Also, of course, Sonam also assisted on that film.
Right.
And it was great having both of them there, and I see their journey and I feel so happy because now they've made such a great name for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
But really, like, is that really how you did Black? Like, you'll be chilling and then the camera's on, you become that person? Because that's a pretty intense part.
Yeah. But I think I always leave intensity for the camera.
Yeah, just between cut and action?
Yeah, because I think the kind of actor I am, I think other actors have their methods, and of course it's great that they have theirs. But I think because I'm not really a traditionally not cultivated actor, but I would say that I've not really gone the actor's graph way. Like, you know, there are people who do theatre, like, you know, they all understand what, you know, performance is, acting is, and, you know, they move from one thing to other. So they kind of choose their way of, I guess, you know, performing. Somebody chooses the method acting process. Somebody probably chooses just being very spontaneous, and, you know, and for me, because I never wanted to be an actor, I never really thought of the process of being an actor. So it never really came to me that, okay, I should be a certain way to be this actor, or I need to cultivate this image for myself so that people take me seriously. You know, like people have this, like, you know, okay, this actor is arriving.
Intense.
Come on, intense. Abhi, chalo, chup raho. Like, I've never really thought about cultivating any image as such.
Right.
And some people have it naturally, you know. So with me, I think it's always been very spontaneous, very...
you basically trust your instinct.
I trust my instinct, and of course I do my homework well. Like I work mentally on a role, on a script, on a character, and it's everything, it's in my head. Like even for Hitchki, like I remember, because it was a first time kind of playing a character like that where you have Tourette's. So of course Siddharth and Manish and my husband, all of them were pretty worried that will Rani be able to pull it off. Not that they doubted me as an actor. Right? Not that they doubted me being an actor, but they also had no, like, you know, we didn't have any point of reference. Like, you know, in films, how you have referencing.
Sure.
Like if you're playing a cop, you know, you've seen 100 cops. So you know that, okay, this is not something that you need to do because they have done this. Now you should not do it, otherwise it'll become like a copy. Or don't do this because this was really bad, so do it better. Or this was the best, so now let's do better than that. So you always have a reference point. But with Hitchki, there was no reference point because there was no actor who has done it. There's no actor who we remember doing Tourette thing, apart from Johnny Bhai doing this in my film Chori Chori Chupke Chupke, which was also a take.
Right.
So that's how I remember, you know, somebody having a tick on screen. So there was no reference point, so they were all worried. They were like, can you show us how you tick? And I'm like, no, I can't show you how I tick. That's my process. I will do it when I shoot. And they're, no, we have to see how you tick. And I'm like, no, I will tick when the camera rolls.
But why won't you just show it to them?
Because it wouldn't come to me.
Okay.
It would genuinely not come to me.
It just simply won't come to you until the camera rolls.
Yeah, it just simply won't come, because when the camera rolls, I suddenly become that person. And now I can't explain this in words, but that's who I am as an actor. Like if you tell me to perform something here, I will not be able to do it because I'm really not in that frame of mind. I'm not in the zone. And also for me, the clothes play a very important role. So when I'm choosing to play a character, I need the clothes. For me, when I wear those clothes, I need to feel that, okay, I have become this character. So when I wear the clothes, it gives me an incentive to be able to become that part. So for me, clothes play a very important role. Like all the designers on my films get really fed up with me by the end of the film, because I'm like, even if it's a simple salwar kameez or a simple jeans and a t-shirt, I have to get that right. because I want the clothes to be who I am.
To be distinctive to that particular character, you
Yes,
say.
to be distinctive to that particular character. So clothes play also important part when I'm doing a particular character. Hi, this is Rani Mukerji, and I hope you enjoy seeing Sit with Hitlist exclusively on midday.com.